here you are, local guy, dream come true, if it could ever happen, right? If I could play for a New York team. What is that like for you? Now, you had a journey in college, and you were literally off the radar until somebody said, hey, you need to take a look at my guy.
Yeah, so I remember being a junior, rising senior, going into my senior year, and this was the actual internet era, Carl. So we had rankings and websites.
Have you ever heard of Betamax? Did you guys have push button phones? You didn't even have that. You don't even know what that is, right?
Push button phones?
Yeah.
Like a payphone?
Yeah.
We had
you have rotary dial?
We had rotary, yeah, I had
Did
rotary.
you?
I was there for that. Call waiting came when I was young.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm on the internet, and I look myself up, right? I had a decent year at UMass and things like that. I'm a 1,000-yard receiver, and I look it up, and I'm 188th out of 300 receivers in my class, and I'm like, okay, well, I got some work to do. So I go through my senior year. I have a great senior year. After that, I'm still 188th or something. Then I have my pro day. I don't get invited to the combine, which in hindsight, I wasn't too angry about it because from what I hear, the combine is just a lot of poking and prodding and making you tired, and then you have to run. It's just so much pressure. I don't know if I would have been able to muster up that kind of energy to do that. So at my pro day at Boston College, I was like, if I run anywhere under a 4.5, this is gonna raise some eyebrows. So I made sure I ran a 4.47 that day, and then I ran a 4.5 flat. So I was like, okay, job one is done. So after that combine, I remember Chris Pettit, one of the Giants scouts, came up to me. He was like, man, you ran faster than last year. I was like, you remember me from last year? I'm just happy you remember who I am. So after that combine, I did great, jumped well, caught the ball well. I looked back up on the internet, and obviously this is the next week, and I jumped up to 79.
Out of 180 something?
Out of 180, out of like 200 and something, wow. I jumped up to 79, and I was like, I'm still out of the top whatever, but I'm 79 now, so somebody's paying attention.
Right.
And then, so as I continued to go through the process, I was a realist, right? I knew I wasn't 6'5", 215 pounds, running a 4.3. I knew I wasn't a Calvin Johnson or Larry Fitzgerald. I knew I would have to find a place that would have my niche and be able to, and just prove myself and get an opportunity. So after the draft, the whole draft, and this is the first year the draft was 3 days. So I sat there every single day watching every name go by the TV screen, and my mom cleaning the entire house because she was nervous. So after the 3 days, I get a phone call right after the last pick of the draft, and it's Chris Pettit, and he's like, we want you to be a part of the Giants family. Are you ready to be, a Giant? And I was like, absolutely. I had gone to their local pro day earlier in that summer, and they loved me, and I spoke to all the coaching staff, and I felt like everything was good, but you never know.
Yeah.
So once I got a chance to become a free agent and join the team, I was like, this is my shot, and I'm gonna come in here and give it everything I got, and I'm gonna prove to everyone. I remember my college coach told me, in order for you to stick as a free agent with any team, you got to make one wow play a day. And I was like, all right, coach, I'm gonna try to get that in there. And it seemed like every day with every training camp practice and every game and every, spring practice, whatever was happening, I was creating that one wow play every day. I mean, obviously there was a couple of mistakes a part of that too, just as a learning curve being a rookie. But I made that wow play every day, and I could tell as I started to do that, putting those good days together, I started to get the attention of the coaching staff, and I could see them just talking to me more.
And then so the wow play started to happen.
So the wild play started to happen, and then I see guys like Justin Tuck, like, man, we see what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Just keep on doing it.
Right.
You know what I mean? I see guys like OC, like, yo, where you from again? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like, what's your name again? Your name is Cruz. You're from where? And then the third thing was just the number. You get that single-digit number or a number that isn't necessarily a legal number once the NFL starts the regular season. Right. You already like, all right, I got 1 foot out. Like, they gave me this number because they probably don't, that's the way us rookies felt. Right. Like, okay, we got our number, but we're 1 foot out because we can't wear this number when the season starts.